My friend Calypso has been through just about everything, and quite frankly, everything has been through her as well. And over time, I can just not only imagine how much that has weighed down on her, but I've seen it when she would tell me about situations that she has been in, that she has been through. From being cheated on, to emotional abuse, to trauma, you name it, and a guy has dedicated every fiber in his being to be the Popeyes employee in her life by ensuring that she has the utmost horrible and negative experiences. And given the track record with those horrible experiences, the next 6-piece that she catches is not gonna be wings. And that thought terrified me. You guys do not know my craziest stories. Actually, you guys don't know me at all. You literally could get free videos today, right now, on me and Yo-Yo's collab channel, SXY, or Stan X Yo-Yo, and my Stanley live channel, where I quite literally react to videos and tell you guys about my life. Like, for example, I literally called up one of the girls on my stream that is probably gonna end up being a story time. You busy?
Not particularly at 2:15 in the morning, no.
Okay, bet. But the thing is, you would never know about that until like 2028 when I finally get the video animated. But everybody on the Stanley live channel and on the Twitch channel got to see it as soon as it happened. We have hundreds of people in the Discord, thousands of people on the Stanley's live channel, thousands of people on the Stan X Yo-Yo channel, SXY. The community is quite literally already over there. We're quite literally just missing you. I post 4 times a day on Stanley's live. Me and Yo-Yo post almost 4 times a day on the Stan X Yo-Yo channel. And I interact with the Discord as much as possible. Oh shoot. Oh.
See, Stanley too nice. Sub up to that channel, boy.
Please. You're not gonna say please?
Por favor.
Hey man, the support has been crazy. So please, all I'm asking of you today is to join SXY and the entourage. All right, let's get into the video. Because this sweet, genuine woman, in my mind, deserved the world. I was praying in this woman's life so adamantly, just hoping that she would get an absolute angel of a man one day. And unfortunately, my prayers got answered in the worst way possible. And from this point on in the story, you're gonna see me have to undo the work of God himself. Because when Calypso and I got introduced to Quinton, he was one of the happiest, joyful people that I've ever met. And naturally, as the best homeboy in the world, I bagged him for her. I was basically laughing that man out his drawers. I ain't gonna lie. I might have fumbled a couple of shorties, but I ain't never fumbled no man, clock it, period. You know what I'm saying? No diddy though. No diddy though. This is just how it works, okay? If you could bring your homegirl a guy, your homegirl is gonna bring you shorties. That's the ecosystem. That's how it works. And I was doing my due diligence in the matter, okay? I was trying to make sure that they had a white picket fence, 3 kids, a barn house with a struggling garden in the back. But if I'm to keep it honest, no matter how much I want to take credit for finding this godsend of a man for her, the work was essentially already done by the time I was introduced to Quinton. I was really just added onto a phone call to give her my nod of approval for the guy that she chose, to make sure that she didn't make the wrong choice and this guy. Not that she would listen to me when I didn't approve of the 5 other guys, but hey, you know, but the cupcake stage aside, here's what makes this whole thing tricky though, okay? We all live apart from each other. And me doing my best attempt to not dox the people in this story, it was the equivalent of me living in Austin, Texas, him living in Houston, Texas, and her living in California. And through the bond that me and this dude have, obviously between the connection of him and her, I've spent enough time around him individually to at least believe that he is the person that he tells me he is. To me, the problem that lies is that Calypso was not able to trust a thing that this man was saying because they're long distance. And quite frankly, Calypso hasn't been able to trust anything since her last couple of ex-boyfriends. She can't trust men. She can't trust friends. Shoot, she can't trust falls. As far as I'm concerned, that was dumb. That was dumb. That was dumb. That was dumb. If the word calypso and trust are in the same sentence, then you might as well go ahead and put does not in the middle of it, honestly. Which leaves this kind soul, this golden retriever of a man, Quinton, to having a moment with me. A very vulnerable moment. We went out to eat at some breakfast spot. I don't know what it was, but the line was so long and full of white people that I had to make sure that it wasn't a vegan. I was pretty sure that they're serving self-help books and matcha at the front of that line. Like, it was ridiculous. But it's Houston. If you know, you know. They don't play about their brunch spots, apparently. So as we're eating, he tells me what I have to tell you guys right now. So for the first time in my career, I think, I get to tell you guys a story within another story. Quinton leans into me and tells me back when Calypso and I started dating, everything was fine. But now the way that she acts in front of you, Stanley, isn't the way that she acts in front of me. And now there's me, who's my homegirl's #1 hater. So I want to be like, facts. At the same time though, I realize this is not the time for it. So I ask him, basically, I'm like, what do you mean? And he goes on to list just some of the things that she has done and the way that she's treating him. One night, Stanley, she just gets way too drunk. Like, she was out with her friends and she texts me very oddly. And since getting that message, she's been weird. And I don't partake in alcoholic women, okay? But from my understanding, I thought that this was normal. I've heard the saying go, if she isn't texting you when she's drunk, then who is she texting? Like, that's how I thought it always went, or something like that. So I'm thinking like he blew this out of proportion. Calypso was probably just out with some friends. She thought about you, she texted you, and now you're kind of making it a big deal when it's probably not nothing. Then he shows me the text.
You're a liar. I never should have trusted you. You act like you love me, but you don't.
I'm like, damn, what did you do? And in his words, mind you, sweat beating down his face. Genuinely, he just looks stressed and confused. And he tells me, I woke up, I was asleep. It was 2 a.m. when she sent me this. And the problem with all of this is the fact that I'm a big believer in drunk words, drunk actions are just sober thoughts that you were never gonna get out. But once again, this is my home girl. Okay, this is her through every situation. She has never changed. This can't be, this can't be her. But then he tells me more. Stanley, after that, we got into an argument about it where we ended up talking it out, you know, kinda, only to find out she started calling into my job to make sure I was working when I said I was working. And Stanley, it wouldn't be a problem if she called me. It's a problem because she's using the line number that they use for orders at my job. And how he broke it down to me is like this. She didn't expect him to tell her the truth. So she went straight to the job whenever she had a question about his whereabouts. And the problem with that is now the employees are doing more work because of his love life. And also they're getting a view into his love life that no person should quite frankly have. And I'm sitting down with him at this brunch spot and I am in awe. Like, this is Calypso that we're talking about right now. It felt like I was being pranked. It felt like it genuinely felt like I was being pranked. I couldn't come up with any more excuses for her inside of my head. Like, I was in shambles. And then he drops another one on my head. And at this point, I'm basically on the ground. I'm not gonna lie. It's the last one that he says, the last one that he's telling me about. It's alluding to infidelity. He tells me that this woman is doing the little things. Making new friends he doesn't know about. Whenever she's telling him a story, she's omitting the names and genders in the stories. All of a sudden, everybody in the story is mad non-binary. It's a whole bunch of they, thems inside the story. You feel me? My friends inside of the stories, no genders. And whenever he would further ask, yo, who is who? It would turn into an argument. And at the end of that argument, she would unveil that the person that she was hiding, or the people that she were hiding, were hims and he's and a bunch of males. And Quinton's like, the problem isn't the finding of her friend, Stanley, but in the hiding of her action. And as a guy who has been cheated on more times than a military veteran, I can for sure say in that moment that he wasn't overthinking. And the amount of annoyance that built up in my body was stupendous. I was so annoyed that the one person that I believed in to stay the same turned into the same people that hurt her. But I'm aware that telling her this could be the end of our friendship. Telling her this could be the end of years of being there for each other in rough times. But the thing is, if I don't lose her to being honest, I would lose her because me and her aren't the same person anymore. And I wouldn't want to be around somebody like that. I wouldn't be able to be friends with somebody who chooses to hurt their partner intentionally. So I call her, and obviously this isn't verbatim. I'm trying to get the point across to show y'all how she acted. Calypso, I ain't heard from you in a minute. How you been? How you and Quinton? I've been good. You know, we both kind of just been doing our own thing. What's your own thing? Can you not cut me off? I mean, we both just been, you know, figuring out what relationship style works best for us. Okay, you know, I hear you. Can I be honest with you though? I don't feel like you like him as much as you say you do. I mean, he's good for now. Like, I don't trust him that much, so I haven't been putting all my eggs in one basket, so to speak. Just like that. That's how she said it. Now, I ask you, my audience, if her eggs for her partner, for her relationship, aren't all in the basket of her relationship, I ask you, where do you think she's putting those eggs? You know, where else would they be? Would they be on the ground? You know, maybe they're in her basket, another man's basket. Where are you placing the trust of the rest of your eggs? And that thought made me go on a rant, saying, if you don't trust the person you want to spend the rest of your life with, then why are you even with them? Or at minimum, what do you gain from telling him that he's a liar while you're lying yourself and you're hiding things from him? And right there, yeah, I messed up. See, she didn't know that I knew that she was hiding things from him. That was information that I wouldn't know unless Quinton told me. And me saying that lets her know that Quinton confided in me prior to this conversation. Yeah, I messed up. I messed that up. She ripped me a new one on the phone. I'm not gonna lie. And it worked. This woman made me feel horrible. I felt like I should have never stepped in the first place. Like, I felt like I was way out of line for even caring about Quinton. And once we hung up the phone and the dust settles, I remember being in my room. Phone light is illuminating the cracks I had in my ceilings, and I can't be in a friendship with someone with such different ideals than myself. And because of that, I have to cut this connection off. And usually, along with that thought, I just do it. I'm not one who's for the theatrics and the drama. I just leave. I know, crazy given the fact that this is a YouTube channel and it's for theatrics and drama, but that doesn't take away from my point. But something genuinely tells me to talk to her one more time. Not sure if it was divine intervention, not sure if it was because the planets lined up that day, but somewhere between me getting possessed by either the Holy Spirit or Danny Phantom, I was convinced that I had to talk to this woman one more time about how I was feeling. So I get on the phone and I tell her, I don't want to nag you or force you into acting a way you don't want to, but I will probably be leaving this friendship because the differences we have in lifestyles to me are too glaring. And in a last ditch effort, you know what this woman did? She confesses her love and how I was the person she always wanted. The reason she never felt the same about Quinton, the reason her fidelity was never loyal was because she was in love with me all along. Y'all, guys, the amount of disgust, the amount of betrayal, the amount I wanted to end this phone call and act as if I've never heard those words was one of the more intense feelings in my life. But I didn't. I let her get it out. I let her get it all out. I wanted to make sure that Calypso, the girl that I knew, the girl that I grew up with, the girl that was close to me, the girl that I thought couldn't change, the girl that I thought deserved the world. I wanted her to know and understand that Calypso, you are heard and that you are understood. I wanted her to think that. So I could go straight to Quinton and tell him in extreme detail. What? Are you kidding me? I snitched on her so quick. Oh my gosh. I don't even think the day ended. I snitched on her so fast that I might get an award for it. Because truth be told, right? Here's the thing. She didn't love me. She doesn't love me. The way that she acted was proof that she changed. Enough proof to show me that who she is today is not who I met. And what she told me after I let her ramble and ramble was enough to let Quinton move on. Nobody deserves to get treated the way that you hated getting treated in your past. And instead of wasting somebody's time, instead of wasting your time, you can either A, choose to let the world change who you are, or B, you can change the world. With that being said, it's a wrap. Fade to black.